sit down with Felicity and she's going to show me how to put 2. How hard can that be?
Well, Daisy's been waiting very patiently here, all harnessed up. So we've now put the bridle on, and we've had the reins tied up to make sure that they didn't fall off. But now we're going to put 2. So I'm rearranging the reins so that I can quickly access them. There's 2 ways. You can just slip them in there and tie it up with the keeper on the back strap, or you can just loop them up like that, slip this in and pull it tight. Now that means that as soon as I grab that, they're undone. This is especially important if you've got a young horse, putting 2 for the first 2 or 3 times. So now we're ready to put 2. With a driving horse, with a pleasure driving, you always take the horse and put the vehicle to the horse. If it was an agricultural one, you put the horse to the vehicle, but we bring the vehicle to the horse. I'm just going to take Daisy over and push her in front of the carriage. When you're putting 2, it's like mounting a horse. You're the most vulnerable when you're putting 2. So we have to be very careful. And I'm going to ask Mary to hold the pony while we tack up. Come on, Daisy. Walk on. Walk on, Daisy. Just hold. Now Mary's holding on the rope. She's making sure it's not twisted around her hands, that in case the horse pulls back. Wait a minute, Trish. Right. The reason why you make sure the horse stands still and you bring the carriage to the horse, it's so that the horse doesn't anticipate and it gets used to standing very still while you're putting 2. You'll see that these shafts have got loop ends, and we're putting 2 with Tilbury tugs. That's the first thing you put in. The next thing are the traces. Undo the quick release from the back and quickly put them on. And then the next thing is the breeching. Counting from the point, it was 7 last time, so we'll put it on 7 this time, the 7th hole from the point, and then we'll just check that that's right. 3 steps. Now, when the back band is resting across the saddle, I'm just doing up the belly band. That's to ensure these shafts don't jiggle around too much. When the back band is on the saddle, you check the breeching, and there should be about 4 fingers here. And that means that when the carriage goes downhill, it comes forwards. Stand still, Daisy. And you can see that the breeching is now engaged. And you have to make sure the shafts are the length so that this back strap is always on the saddle. There we are, put 2. Now, if you have shafts with a straight hole, it's just a straight shaft, you have open tugs, so you put the shafts through and then you put the traces on first. Now that's really important to make sure that the traces are the first on in that instance and the last to come undone, so that the horse is always firmly attached to the vehicle until the last minute. And it just means that if a dog barks, the horse would take a step, it's not half in and half out. So now we're ready to go. I'm putting on my gloves. Always drive with gloves and a hat. I've got a hard hat. You need a hat to keep your hair out of your eyes, the sun out of off your glasses, and for protection for your head. So now I'm undoing the reins. It's a quick flip. I'm making sure that the reins aren't twisted. I just mentioned that Tricia has done everything on the other side that I did this side. Right, so now I've got reins over my arm, out of the way, so I don't trip over them. And Mary's got the pony's head straight. So I've got my reins here, and this is how I would hold them once I'm sitting down. But because I'm at an angle, I will now lengthen this one a little bit more. So now I quickly mount, 1, 2, 3, sit down, pick up my whip, and I'm ready. Now it's important that you do that mounting bit quite swiftly. And I'm ready, I'm in control. I've got a blanket here. I'm going to put this across my knees to keep me warm, to keep the horse's hair off my clothes. I'd just like to mention that this blanket is fixed. And everything on the carriage, if it's on the carriage, it's fixed. If your clothes, if you've got a coat on, it should be done up. So there's nothing going to fall off, you're nothing going to get trapped. These are all for safety reasons. So at the moment, Mary is still partially in charge. And when I'm ready, I will give Mary the nod. And she will unclip, and now I'm in charge. Now, the reason I didn't say anything to Mary is that the horse learns that the commands. And if I was to say, hey, let them go, they'd soon learn that that was time to go. So you just always nod and tip them the wink. Ready to go. We always take a lead rope with us for safety. Mary's giving that to the groom. Trisha's coming with me on the back. You always take a groom with you for safety's sake, because you're a long way from the front of the horse. If anything should happen, if a strap needs to be undone or done up or anything, the groom is there for you. Dismounting. Dismounting from the carriage. You get your groom to go again. You're vulnerable while you're actually doing the getting on and getting off of the carriage. So Mary is now going to clip the lead rope onto the head collar. And so she will be in charge of the pony now. I'm putting my whip in the holder, putting my rug over, and I always get off this side purely because I've got a dodgy knee. Yeah, for you it's the safest way down. It's always good to be able to get off both sides, because you don't, in a normal situation, if you were in traffic, you wouldn't want to get off into the traffic. So I'm just going to put my reins in my left hand. You always get down backwards so that if the horse should suddenly go forward, you can fall into the carriage. Here we are. Tie up the reins again. Out of the way. Right, taking out of the carriage. Right, the first thing you undo is the britching, the brakes. Now, although we've undone this, if Daisy was to take a step forward, she would still be attached. I'm undoing the belly band. And again, if Daisy was to take a step forward, she would still be attached. These are loop end shafts with Tilbury tucks. So the next thing we take off are the traces with a quick release. And I clip them up there out of the way. You don't want anything dragging on the ground. And then she's still attached by these tugs. So again, it's safety. And now we undo the tugs, lift the shafts up. And now we can lead the pony away, making sure everything is completely unattached. Yep, all clear.
Thank you, Felicity, for showing me how to put two. You need to put two in a set sequence for the safety of everyone and the horse. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.